let's take a moment to just appreciate the inspiration from this movie. Like, it got to a part I became very, very teary and all that. Hey guys, my name is Lydia. It's been a long time, but yeah, I'm here. Abattoir is out, and I was just watching it behind the scene. I'm like, why won't I give my review on my thoughts of the movie? So let's put episode 1 to 3 aside. This is episode 4. I'm just reviewing it, and then I'll give my expectations for the next episode. If you are new to the channel, my name is Lydia. Please do well to subscribe, and then let's move on. So yes, Abattoir. I've been learning so much from Abattoir, looking at how people can just plan evil on your innocent life and all that. And one thing I learned about this episode is about forgiveness. Forgiveness is so important. We tend to underrate it. The way Martins has forgiven his father is really something precious that we need to pay attention to. Forgiveness. When someone does something to you that's so painful, I think the easiest thing you can do for yourself is to forgive them. When you do, you feel this liberation, you feel this freedom, and you leave them to deal with their conscience. So I'm happy that Martins has forgiven his father and all that. In the previous episodes, I realized that Martins, it gets to a time that you feel like you are lagging behind, especially if your friends, your co-peers, and all that are moving on. They are getting married, they are signing contracts, they are traveling outside, and you are still stagnant. You feel like your life is not moving, and that is how Martins felt after a while. But then he snapped out of it, and the reason I like this movie so much, this series so much, is because of how relatable it is. Looking at Martin's situation, it feels like his life is stagnant, but then you could tell that there's something brighter coming in. Now they have a new, let me say, chairman of the board in the school, and not knowing he's even badder than bad. I don't even want to use the word badder than bad, but then his deeds are even more dangerous. It's actually more dangerous if someone pretends to like you and deep down they don't. It's actually more dangerous if they do that than if you know clearly that this person doesn't like me. And that's what the new chairman of the school is acting, behaving like he likes Martins, he appreciates him, he admires his dad and all that. Meanwhile, he's been very, very, very fake. Moving on to my next chapter, I'd like to talk about Akin. In the previous episodes that I watched, Akin, he's not a happy man. And if I were Akin's wife, I would really not stick around, because what is this being a daddy's boy and all that? But for his wife to stick around and still understand that, yes, I have a man who wants to be by himself, but he's being controlled. It was this episode that I saw that so Akin is actually being controlled. Like, I honestly thought that Bade was just being his authoritative self, but then I later realized that so Akin is actually not fighting a physical devil but a spiritual one. And at that moment, if your life itself is not spiritual, you are going to really miss out on a lot. Like, you are going to be a fool for a very long time. And I'm happy that Akin has come across Mr. Soya, and now that Mr. Soya is also healing on himself, I know very well that he's going to, in addition to Baba Bero, they are really going to transform Akin's life, because Akin has a beautiful, lovely family. He really doesn't deserve to be maltreated by his own father, who wants to get a position that is not even relevant. Like, that is really, really worthless. Yeah. Going forward, I would like to talk about the students who, felt bad about himself and all that. That scene almost made me cry. Like, I became teary at that scene. I'm sure you also did. The moment where he was almost about to jump off the cliff and he was held. At that moment, I'm like, we all need someone who will be available when we are confused, when we are lost, when we feel like our life is stagnant. So I'm happy that at least he didn't do what he wanted to do. I'm really happy that he was saved at that point, because what's the point of it? What's really the point of it? In summary of the first 3 seasons, the first 3 episodes that I've watched, I've come to a conclusion that Bade will never change. Like, there's really no change for Bade. There's really no hope for him. I know I'm not supposed to say that, but then he doesn't have any remorse. Like, I really don't see any future of Bade repenting, saying that he has changed, he's a new man. Because even after he lost his daughter, he still didn't change. His ambition to be big in the in the second seer, the underworld, the spiritual world, he's even more concerned about that than his family. So I really don't have hope for Gbade, because I don't see any slight regret, slight remorse, or anything. And now, coming to the last part of the episode, the last part that Baba Gbero was saying, like that part was the sinking part of when Akin was officially introduced to Baba Gbero. Like, let us really appreciate Mr. Sawyer, because I feel like even though he's been bad, I think that, as Martin said, you are a new leaf when you come to Christ. So they should just stop talking about the past and all that. But one thing I appreciate so much about this is the fact that Martins has moved on. He has forgiven his father. And you could tell how he's glowing. He's not depressed. He's not stressed or anything. Because after all, no matter what your father or your parents do to you, they are your parents. Like, you can't really escape that. They are your parents. No matter how bad they are to you, no matter how wicked they have been to you, they are your parents. So my expectations for the next episode, right now, we have 3 big scenes that will be upcoming. First of all, the police officer's husband is going to go as an undercover to find out what is actually happening in this third dimension, thing. That's the first thing. And from the way he has portrayed himself, I don't think he's smart enough to, I don't think he's smart enough for the position as going as undercover. I really don't think he deserves that. I really don't think that he can pull through with that. Because how can you really not think that just a voice over or just an audio recording can let you bring someone down? You need to have strong evidence, at least as an investigative journalist. So he going as an undercover, I'm really hoping to see how he decides to do it. Whether he will be dumb or he'll be smart about it. My next scene is between the police officer and Gbade. Gbade has warned her several times and warned her about her son and all that. What is Gbade really planning to do to the police officer's son? Like, I'm really, really confused. What is he planning to do to her son? Because if your child is dead, why? If your child is no more, why would you threaten someone else's child's life? Like, it really didn't make any sense to me. It really, really didn't make any sense to me. And on my third quest, I'm thinking that finally Akin will face his father as he should. Akin will face his father as the man he should do, so that he can sustain his family. Yeah. So these are my 3 expectations in the next episode, and this episode was really, really powerful. I learned so much from it. So I'll be ending here. Let me know anything you think I missed in this review, and let me know in the comments so that I don't forget to bring it up in my next video. If you're new to the channel, please do well to subscribe. I'll be going through with this series with you till the very end. There's 10 more upcoming. Till next time, have a wonderful day. Bye.